Hi everyone, it's Dutch Reefer here and welcome to this new Focus Friday video. Today I'm going to walk you through the reef and show its progression over the past week and show you a little bit of updates and things I've changed and things I've done differently. And in addition to that, I will also feed my leaf-nosed moray eel, otherwise known as the blue ribbon eel, to show you how you feed these kind of creatures and how they will eat, and we'll get into that a little bit later. So the first thing you might notice is that the fish are swimming in the front of the tank, and that's because I fed them some mastic earlier this afternoon, which they are devouring at the moment. They have been at it for about an hour now. So this is a very efficient food to feed. I have been feeding it for years, so I only feed it once a week since in my tank I found it's quite polluting, so it will definitely raise some of your nutrient values if you feed it too much, although that also depends on your bioload, of course. So I take about half a bag and then mix it with water and attach it to the glass of the tank. And the fish can eat it, as you can see right here. They are a really big fan of this food. Of course, they have been able for the past 2 years to get used to this kind of food. So in time, all fish will learn how to eat it. So even the copper band likes to eat this food. They're already about, I think, 3/4 finished with eating it, so there's just a little bit left, but even then all the fish are enjoying it. And as you can see, there's a lot of little particles in the water, which is of course partly dust, but part of it is also these kind of small mastic particles that are floating around. And back when my Montipora was alive, it used to really go into feeding mode and accept all these little particles as food for its growth. Unfortunately, that one died. I've shown you that a couple of weeks ago because of the instability in my tank. And talking about instability, I am getting the feeling that the tank is doing a little better, or actually a lot better, over the last week. As you can see, a lot of the red slime algae that was at the bottom of the tank has gone. I have to admit that I did remove some before filming this, so there was still a few patches left, but it had already decreased quite a lot. And I think I found the source of the red slime algae, also known as cyanobacteria, and that was honey. So a few of you already warned me, so I was already watching it with a very close eye. And the honey that I had been adding to my vinegar solution, which I thought would be beneficial, since honey contains sugar and sugar contains carbon, and carbon makes sure that there's more bacteria in your tank, will increase bacteria numbers that will actually benefit the denitrification process. But back to the honey, it was actually somehow, I'm not sure why, because I'm not a chemist, so I can't explain it, but the honey was actually creating more cyanoalgae than it was solving issues. So really, the minute I removed the honey from the equation, even the day after, I could already see that the cyanoalgae were decreasing. So that was a clear signal for me to stop that experiment, and now I'm just dosing vinegar as a carbon source, so no longer mixed with honey. So that's I think the main part or the main reason that the cyanoalgae have cleared from the tank a bit. Of course, like I told you before, I also have been adding bacteria to the tank. So what I'm doing every week, I'm adding the microbe lift bacteria. I forgot the actual name, but it's very smelly. but you need to dose that only once a week. And then there's the Bio-S bacteria by Aquaforest that I'm dosing daily. And I've also added another mix to the equation, and that's a mix that contains iodine, and manganese, and one other trace element that removes itself very quickly from the tank. So I've been adding that on a daily basis for the past week, and I cannot tell for sure, but that's probably also had a beneficial effect on the overall health of the tank. So, concluding that section of the video, I am very satisfied with the way the tank is progressing. The cyano has been removed for I'd say about 60 to 70%. So still a bit to go, but all in all, very content with the way the tank is looking at the minute. So moving to the other side, of course there's the beautiful blue Linkia starfish that's right here, that has been in here for a couple of months now, I think about 2 to 3 months, and it's been feeding off the detritus in my tank for ever since. And it's all around actually. Sometimes it's hovering across the glass, and sometimes it's just on the rocks near corals doing its thing. So here's the other side of the tank. As you can see, also on this side the cyano has cleared mostly. The patches that are left are here and here. So you can see that I cleaned up a bit, but it's already a lot better than it was before, since it was really, really bad before. And you need to go through these kind of phases every now and again, also to appreciate not having cyano algae. So all in all, not that disappointed, but more happy that it's gone now. So the next thing I wanted to show you is the growth of my Montipora. So as you've seen over the past few weeks or even months, the corals had been declining slowly and significantly, but now I'm starting to see a little bit of recovery, which is easily shown on this Montipora plate. As you can see, the edges are starting to grow again, which is a good sign that the tank is on the recovering side, and that everything is getting back to normal, between quotes, of course, since a tank is not a normal situation for an ocean, but it's as normal as we can get it. So before feeding the leaf-nosed moray, here's one of the most beautiful gorgonians that I have in my tank. It's really big, and it has a lot of polyp extension at the moment, also due to the fact that I have been feeding the mastic, as you can see in the background where the fish are eating it. And because it's in the water column, as you can also clearly see in this shot, the polyps on the gorgonian are extending massively, and they're feeding off of it, and that's a beautiful thing to see. So it's really nice to have one of these big purple gorgonians in my tank. It really keeps the tank alive, and I really enjoy that coral. So next, as promised, right here I have a small lansfish, which we call a spearing in Dutch. It had been frozen before, so it looks a little bit shriveled, but that's because it had been frozen. And these are the kind of fish that I feed my leaf-nosed moray, ribbon eel. This is a fairly small one. Usually I feed some that are a little bit bigger, I think a centimeter or two larger, but these small ones are easier to digest and easier. He'll probably accept it a little better. So let's feed it and see. It's already coming. Yeah, perfect. So that was it. It went really fast. Usually it's a little more hesitant to take it, but as you could see, it was devouring it instantly. These small ones, these small lancefish are easier for him to digest, as I mentioned before, so he'll take it immediately. What he'll do is he'll swallow it whole, and then he'll return to the surface soon. And you can see the bulge in its neck since it just digested the lancefish. I feed one to him every other day to keep him from eating my fish. I'm not sure. I have heard stories before where these eels have eaten fish in the tank, starting off with the small fish and then even later attempting to eat tangs and other fish if it fits in its mouth. There it is again. You can actually, you could see in the neck the lancefish that it just devoured. So it's these morays are very nice to have. These eels, they are hungry fish, and as I mentioned, I try to keep them fed to refrain them from eating my fish, which I would really hate if it did that. So far, it has been very friendly to the fish, even a little bit scared whenever fish are floating by quickly. So I'm not worried at the moment, as long as I'm trying to keep it fed. And yeah, overall, really happy that I got this eel. It has been a wonderful addition to the tank, and sometimes it's out of its hole. I would have expected it to swim out a little bit more, but it's mainly hiding in its caves, and sometimes it comes out. But it's a very rare occurrence to see it swimming around the tank. But that's okay. I know it's there. I know he's there, and yeah, that's enough. So that's it regarding the eel. Let's finish off this video since we're already 12 minutes in. Like I mentioned before, I'm really happy that the tank is slowly recovering, so the stability is getting better. I really think that adding bacteria was one of the main things that I needed to do to improve the health of the tank. What I also did was also something you guys mentioned, is cranked up the flow in the tank, since the gyres were at 80% and the SOW15s from Jecod were at 80% as well, and I've put them all to 100%, so there should be a lot more flow in the tank. Although you might not see a lot of flow, there is, at least there's enough. Yeah, that's it for now. So I hope you enjoyed the video. I hope you enjoyed the feeding time of the blue ribbon eel, and I'll see you in the next video. For now, I want to wish you a very nice weekend, and I'll see you in the next one. Bye bye.